weeks, it might take 40. So this is kind of hard to see. The bottom line in both of them is the low density, so they're not growing as well. But the graph on the left is it's by weight. The one on the right is length. The x-axis on the weight is grams, and then the bottom axis on both of them are days post stocking. But what I see here is on the length part, the mid and high density fish are growing about the same. Here, the mid density is growing they're a little bit chubbier, a little bit fatter. And I don't have statistics to this. This is just something I threw up here right away. But it looks like the mid density seems to be working better for the weight wise. But length wise, it's about the same. That's something we gotta look at and try figuring out why. It could be our stocking rates or our feeding rates and things like that. Now for our plants, we've grown 10 varieties of lettuce. These are 2 of them. We've grown a couple different types of romaine lettuce, and that's what we have in here. A couple bib lettuce, that's like a Boston lettuce, so that's really, really good. We've tried kale. We should try that again, because our nutrients were as high when we were doing that. That really didn't grow that well. But the green loose leaf, red romaine, red and green oak leaf. I put this information together. This is about 3 weeks old or so. But when I made this graph, or the information here, we raised 1,400 heads of lettuce that came up to Pond Cottage. And this is something that seems elementary, so to speak. The low densities, the biomass is a lot lower compared to the high densities. So the higher density, you're able to have more nutrients in the water. That's like a no-brainer, because the more nutrients, the better growth you're going to have, and things like that. And so that's some of the research. Again, we're right in the middle of our project. I haven't thrown any statistics to it yet to see if it's statistically different between the 3 treatments and things like that. But our future projects, I want obviously continue to use game fish. I got a couple other ideas with walleye. I want to try smallmouth bass, and also I like to try red ear sunfish. Red ear sunfish maybe for a food fish. Also, we would stock them in our lakes, but they grow real fast, and I haven't heard of anybody doing any red ear sunfish. And if we can raise a red ear sunfish to the size of a tilapia, basically they're about the same thing. That could be really beneficial. We're designing a system now. Luke Slowik's helping us out here. We have these totes. We're gonna get some of these totes, and they're food grade totes. And basically, it's a plastic tub, and we'll cut the tops off. We'll use one for fish tank. It's quite a bit bigger than our other tanks, and I would probably put red ear sunfish in here for the time being. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up a couple other totes that we cut in half. And what I wanna do with this is gonna be more demonstration to show that there's something other than lettuce you can grow. Somebody was asking about other plants you guys can grow about anything. So in this system, I'll have hydrodon. It's like little clay balls, okay? And that's the media. And it's not dirt, it's inert, and that's your biofilter too. And you're able to add more nutrients to this. In the floating rafts like we had before with the lettuce growing, there's not enough nutrients in there for a fruiting plant. So these should be able to support fruiting plants. So green peppers, habanero peppers for Scott, tomatoes, cucumbers, radishes, celery. We're gonna try all sorts of stuff.
Where are you gonna get your pollinators?
Our pollinators? We can either, we could stock butterflies, or Scott's gonna go over there and feather. And then the next thing is also bring aquaponics in the classroom. So those are some of the future things, and, you know, I'm really excited about this, yeah.
What about taste?
Taste? And what?
Have they noticed anything different between the aquaponic lettuces and the other lettuces?
The aquaponic lettuce is always better. I haven't heard, So they haven't really, I've heard everything good, so unless they're lying to me. Yeah.
How's the government with funding, you say, of research projects, DNR, for example, they can use this to stock relate?
Most of the people doing aquaponics is private. It's not really state run and stuff like that. Not that I know of.
But it
Yeah.
doesn't qualify for grants or anything?
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah, you can get grants, yes.
Gordy, would you talk about the potential for this revitalizing kingfish hatcheries by extending their season for growing kingfish?
Yeah, that's another thing, thank you, Kerry. My purpose of doing the aquaponics and raising the fish is for stocking purposes, not for making food. I would love to be able to raise a walleye that's food size. If I could do that, I can prove to people that want to get an aquaponics to sell their fish for food, hey, see, you can still do it. I'm more interested in stocking purposes. I'm raising a larger fish and you're gonna get a lot better survival. And basically, so that's for people like you to go out fishing and be able to catch the fish. What I like to do is the area hatcheries in the Midwest, they're not growing fish this time of the year because the water's too cold. They're cold-blooded animals, they don't grow during the winter. And if they can set up, I know one hatchery or one place that we buy fish, they have a barn. They can maybe convert that barn and put in some rafts, put in some places to grow lettuce and things like that. I'll tell them about, hey, market it to the, the schools and the hospitals and nursing homes and things like that, so you can get rid of your lettuce. And that's a constant income throughout the winter. But they're also gonna be able to raise their fish to a larger size. So rather than, if by the fall they're stocking out 5-inch walleye, they're getting $6 a piece for, they go out and raise a 12-inch walleye, and I have no idea what they charge for that, but I guarantee it's gonna be a lot more than $6, $6-7. They're gonna get $15, $18 for that fish. And then in the long run, those fish are, people buy those fish to stock. So those fish are gonna get better, are more of a chance for better survival in other lakes other than just McGraw. So that's kind of, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, thank you. So that's kind of where I'm at rather than producing a food fish. So, and then that's about all I got. This has been said already tonight, but I'm gonna say it again. I want to thank everyone here and all other members here at McGraw for help funding projects like this. Whether or not you donated for this project or not, you guys donated for other things, kennel or shooting sports center, things like that. You guys are the ones that make this place go with all your funding and things like that. Without the funding, there's no way that I would have been able to do this. So I appreciate all you guys do, not just for the fisheries department, but for the whole foundation. So that's all I got. And any other questions? Yes?
Do you have to wait till the water is warm in the lake before you release the fish you're growing, since they're used to the 70 degrees?
That's a good question. Yes, I do. So if I would normally stock them out we'll stock them out like the end of May. And we acclimate them too. So that's a very good point. You can't put fish in 70-degree water in a 40-degree water. They don't do too well doing that. They don't like that at all. They get
If it's a cold, they put them in.
yeah, when we stock them, I'll let you know, Jeff, so you go on. Thanks. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
thank you all again for coming out. I wanted to point out two other members of the Fisheries Department who are here with us tonight, Scott McDaniels and Bob Hunt. At this time of year, Bob Hunt is about to come back fishing. So they're your guide. These guys will help you find fish if you don't know how, or just follow Mr. Tallis around. And we look forward to seeing you at our next events, and thank you again for coming out. Thank you.
Awesome.